have as a homeowner when it comes to, paying off your loan?
Yes, and a lot of times people get behind on their mortgage because they have an interruption in income because of an illness or a job loss.
Right.
One thing I wanted to say initially is don't ever let someone tell you to get behind on your mortgage on purpose in order to get like a loan modification or something like that.
And why is it?
Because once you get behind on your mortgage, the mortgage company will stop accepting your payments until you've got the entire amount necessary to bring the loan current, which will include late fees, and if they start a foreclosure, court costs.
Oh, wow.
Things like that.
So you're telling me, that just because you're like, all right, let's say you missed a couple months and you're like, okay, I'm ready to start paying again. Here's this month's payment, or the 2 months ago's payment. They might not even take the money, is what you're saying.
Typically, they will not. They'll mail it back to you and start a loss mitigation or a foreclosure process. Okay. Generally, they start by sending the case to a local law firm. There are several here in Oklahoma that handle foreclosures exclusively. And if you are behind on your mortgage and you have all of the money to catch it up, if you can get them to tell you how much that is, and a lot of times that's the trick, because
really?
You'll send them money, they'll send it back and say this isn't the correct amount. Now you need to send X amount of dollars. You send them that, they send it back, they say it's not the correct amount. In the meantime, they've got their foreclosure lawyers filing a case and seeking to take your home from you.
Well, Mike, you mentioned loan modification. Explain what that is.
A loan modification is something that they came up with, like you mentioned, after the 2008 financial crisis. This is supposed to be a program where consumers are allowed to go in and lower their payments, perhaps put some missed payments on the end of the loan. It was designed to lower interest rates and things like that. It has not been nearly as successful as they hoped it would be. Initially, what I saw for years is just all of them being denied.
Oh, really?
Yes, and so what would happen is a situation what's called dual tracking.
Okay.
They'll tell someone we're working on a modification when they have you on the phone, and then in the meantime their lawyers are foreclosing. And so a lot of I've had people come into my office and say, look, I was told as recently as last week they were still working on a modification, and then I look at their foreclosure case online and it's a month past the sheriff's sale and it's too late to do.
I mean, just talking about it, you can see how the stress could build up for a family, but that actually, if you get representation, so a lot of that stress is taken care of. What happens if you just, people out there, I can't afford my home anymore? What is your advice to them?
Well, if you can't afford your home and you can't afford to make the ongoing payments or catch up the amount that's behind, you've always got the option of filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, just getting rid of the debt on the home. Of course, you lose the home, but if you're in a mortgage that you really can't afford, some people are in a $2,000, $3,000 plus per month mortgage, and they can certainly find a place to rent for less than half that. Sometimes you just have to make a decision to downsize, and eventually you can get a loan for a smaller home.
Well,
or something
and if you do go through bankruptcy, sometimes banks are looking at that like, well, look, now their income and the amount of money they have to pay out is a little easier, so they will probably have the money to pay the rent. So sometimes they can be working on it.
That's right.
Yeah.
And for folks who have the ability to make the payments and really just had an interruption in income, a lot of times Chapter 13 is a good option for those people. That allows you to stop a foreclosure and make payments on the mortgage and the amount that you're behind. It's a payment that goes through a Chapter 13 trustee.
And you'll be able to explain all those things too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's one of the things you want to do if you want to find out more, be able to get those details. It's very important. A lot of people thinking about that. There are rights when it comes to debt collection and bankruptcy laws. You can contact Michael J. Rose, PC. They're located at 4101 Perimeter Center, that's Suite 120 in Oklahoma City. Give them a call, 405-605-3757, or just head to their website, MikeRoseLaw.com. On Facebook, it's Michael J. Rose, PC.